Coming up on Mental Health Marty, I'm back. Yeah. Faith and wellness in uncertain times. Stay tuned. Hey, everybody, guess what? I am back and I am too excited. It has been way too long and so glad to be back here live and in person in Southern California where the sun is always shining. So I am so glad to be here. So glad to see so many of you and jumping in here. So please do me a favor, like, share, invite people out, tell them come and join us because we're going to have a great time today on the Mental Health Marty Show. Listen, it's been over a year and a half, guys, and I am too excited to be back with you. I've been missing this, and in this current time frame, we need it more than ever. So do me a favor, invite people out. Let's really make this happen. We want to have a great, lively show tonight. I don't know. I'm just so nervous to be back. It's been so long, and it's good to see everyone. So let's get these numbers up. I would really appreciate it, everyone, because we are living in some uncertain times. Yes, Janice, how are you, baby? I missed you so much. Glad to see you. Thank you for being faithful. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for seeing us. Please, everyone, let's get these numbers up. Would love it. And I am so excited. But let me always give my disclaimer. The Mental Health Marty Show. Listen, we are here. We are not an excuse for mental health therapy. We are a supplement to your treatment plan and everything else that you are doing. We are not a substitute, but a supplement. And if you are experiencing any type of mental health crisis, we want you to call 911-988, call the 411-211, every 11 you can think of. And listen, get to your nearest urgent care, see your therapist, your psychiatrist, your psychologist, your homie, your best friend, but go get some help. Yes. So with that saying, guys, welcome back. I'm too excited. Listen, put some comments in there so that I know you're listening and that you are here. But tonight, it's good to be back. And Jennifer, thank you. Thank you so much. Glad to be back. Yes. Where's the Mac in the back? Janice, you know the Mac in the back is back there running stuff. I can't do this without the Mac in the back. So he is there. Yes, Clanisha. Yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Greg. Yes. Wait. Well, you got to blast me like that, Greg. Wow. You come on here and blast me. Much love. Much love. Listen. Hey, Desi. So glad you guys are here with us. I'm so excited. I couldn't do this show without having, listen, that's Mama Mitchell back there. We can't do without her. Without having some of my closest friends on here. And Tanya, yes, thank you. And shout out to Reverend Dr. Margarita Story. She had a family emergency, so we want to keep her in our prayers. And Dr. Story, we love you, praying for you and your family. But I cannot start this show out without bringing in my brother from another mother, AKA, we called him Turkey Legs, but that wasn't me. That was his own mama. So glad to have him all the way from the DMV, none other than Thomas Davis. Thomas!
What's up, Marty? What's going on, sir?
How are you? With you, man?
Only you would get me up at 10:05 on the East Coast just for you.
You ain't sleep. I know you. Remember?
We see each other.
I see you too. Man, how you feeling? How you doing?
Man, I feel amazing. It is amazing to be able to be back with you on the show.
Yes,
I'm so proud of all of your accomplishments and everything that you are doing, sir.
Man, listen, no, but the compliment goes out to you because we are entrepreneurs and building businesses, and now is the time, and it's hard out here in these mental health streets. Baby, let me tell you, it's hard out here. But I want to give a shout out to you. And if you are looking for a therapist and a good therapy organization. Please shout out to Thomas, what he's doing. So Thomas, for the people who may not know what you do, which I can't even believe on my channel, people don't know who you are. We've been rolling since COVID, man. And it's been a blessing. Yes, keep my beautiful beloved Pastor Mark. Yes, we love her. And so we want to keep her in our prayers. But tell us about what you do, what you do in your business, and how people might be able to reach out, because we need help like never before.
Well, first of all, Martin, I do have to say this. I humbly appreciate you. I say this all the time. I am not who I am today had it not been for this young man reaching out to me. And when we say iron sharpens iron,
yeah,
it's truly what it is. Martin reached out to me right before COVID, and he says, Thomas, we got to do this thing together. Had no aspirations to do any of this, but I'm humbled to say that I'm a proud Black male therapist here in the Washington, D.C. area. And I'm licensed in Maryland. I'm licensed in D.C. I'm licensed in Virginia. I'm getting licensed in North Carolina. And Dr. Margarita Story, I'm coming to Pennsylvania. I'm just waiting on that. I'm waiting on that piece of paper. But all in all, we are excited to be able to provide mental health services, coaching services, rehabilitative services here in Washington, D.C.
You call off one more license, you're going to have to give me $1,000 for every license of each state you call it, because you got more licenses than the law should allow. But I'm proud of you, my brother, proud of what you're doing, and keep building this empire. But I can't do this also without none other than my brother down in Houston. He told me already it's past his bedtime, but this is my road dog. Listen, I met Bishop. Oh my God, it's been almost over 20 years ago now. I can't believe it's been that long. And you know, there's when you find good brothers, because we all have been in low places in our lives. Yes. And he pulled me through one of my darkest times of my life. He didn't judge me. He was there, who prayed for me, made sure I was all right, called me, at times had to put me in my place, and I fuss at him. And whenever I go down to Houston, let me tell you something, that's some good eats down there, because as country as he is, he'll preach you under the bench and then go ahead and make a pot of greens for you as well. But none other than Bishop Sean Stewart. Bishop, how you feeling?
My guy.
It's good to see the both of you again.
Yes. Yes.
You guys look amazing. It's been long and overdue. It's good to be back.
Yes.
It's good to be back. I can't wait to get to it. What are we talking about?
Well, that's good. Can I go here? Because I want to go here. I'm wearing pink tonight because it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
And breast cancer is not just for women. There are some men, and without putting his business in the street. So one of my best friends, he has also a form of breast cancer, and he is going through treatment right now. But to God be the glory that he is the treatment has not affected him. He's still able to do his job. But Sean, I know that you have also been a cancer survivor as well. Yes, and we praise God that you are here, and that. But even when we're talking about cancer and some of these things, this is not even the topic for tonight. But you know, I think some of the things that we a lot of times, I think those of us who aren't affected by it, directly affected by it, we don't know how to support those who have cancer, or what do we do? Because I know I feel helpless. And for men, whenever, because we're doers in that regards, we're providers, protectors, and when we feel we can't do anything, we feel helpless, we feel, you know, not valued, and that we can't do enough. So if you could just share a little bit of your testimony, and then for those who have family members and friends, what can they do to support during these times?
All right. I didn't know we were leading with that, but okay.
I did. That was the Holy Ghost.
I'm going to send you a text about that. So I am 16 years, 4 months, and 3 days cancer.
Praise God.
I was stage 4 B-cell non-Hodgkin's lymphoma metastasized. I had 2 stem cell transplants and 2 bone marrow transplants. I went to the doctor off of a cough. in Easter that turned into you in the middle of H1N1 that turned into, hey, you have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Oh, well, whatever cough syrup you need to give me for this cough, I'll pick it up from Walgreens.
Right.
On my way home from work, because that's where I was going to get it from.
Right.
This is my first year as an assistant principal.
Right.
One of the first things I want to tell you when you're dealing with someone that's sick, do not, under any circumstances, tell them you understand where they are.
Come on. Unless you've been there. Yes.
Even as a cancer survivor, I do not even tell cancer patients I understand.
Okay.
What they want to know is, can you just sit and listen?
Yeah.
Sometimes they just want you to sit and be quiet with them and watch them sleep. They just want the company.
Yes.
Sometimes when you see them, I will say this for me. My brother he was a warden of the only male prison in Dallas. Then he moved over to working for other agencies within the FBI. And the one thing that he did, he would always say, go in there and lay down. You need to get your rest. That bed is a prison when you can't go do nothing else. You can't go out. You can't go see your friends. You can't go to church. You're in a bed and you don't feel good. So just getting up out the bed to go walk around the parking lot of the house or whatever. But he wanted me to stay in the bed because the doctor said I needed rest.
Right.
He didn't put together that my rest also could be walking outside.
Yes.
That my rest could be reading a book, sitting up, talking on the phone. Now, I will be honest, you have to stick with what your doctor tells you, but you have to follow your treatment plan. The third thing I would tell you is you have to be careful about who comes to see you.
That part.
You are in a very fragile medical state. So having someone to come see you, even though it's good, and especially from the church side, I'll speak from the church side, we engage people by showing our care. Because we think being present means being in that person's face. Being present doesn't always mean being in that person's face as much as it does mean being present in the space that they need you to be in.
My.
And the space I might need you to be in is to make me laugh because I'm already on the verge of crying. So why not help me laugh so when my tears come, I can laugh. When my tears I can hide it.
Yes.
The last thing I would tell you is when you see cancer patients telling you they're tired, fatigue is our normal status quo.
Okay.
Even for me, I can't do it like I used to prior to.
Right.
Owning that is heavy, y'all.
Yes.
It is heavy. Owning that I can't get up and go, that I can't preach 3 services, that I can't go hang out with my friends like I used to because I don't work the 12-hour day. And I got to go to bed because I need my strength for tomorrow versus when I used to could get up and go hang with my folk, do what I want to do and come on back. It is the resetting of the mindset, not just for you, but for the people that are around you. Take somebody with you to the doctor's appointment so they can hear what the doctor is saying. Because a lot of times, as the patient, you don't hear. It feels like Charlie Brown's teacher talking to you with a medical.
Walk.
That's all you hear.
Yes.
And all you want to hear is what at the end. What do I need to do?
Yes.
And how long do I have to do it? And what is it going to do to me? Like those are hard questions. And then telling your family, the reason you want to take somebody with you is to translate those medical terms into simple language to the people that you love.
That's good.
Because you're going to be so overwhelmed with, I was diagnosed on a Tuesday. My cancer had progressed in such a way that by that Thursday, they were trying to put a porta cap in my chest.
Wait. In 2 days.
The biopsy, before they could get the culture done, and they was doing whatever it was. Tested. And so he said, because they thought I was stage 3 based on the size of the CT scan. But when they got to digging and they measured it with the MRI with the negative uptake, then that's when they came back and said, porta cap Tuesday. And then a week later, they started chemotherapy.
Wow.
And I did chemotherapy for 9 months straight. And then we went back and forth between chemotherapy, radiation. Your digestive system changed. You don't have a food appetite. You're irritable. Everybody wants to support you, but they don't know what to do for you. Sometimes the best support you can offer is just to call and be yourself. Don't change how you treat me.
Yes.
If you know we would go cut blocks and talk trash along the way,
Right.
call me and talk trash while you cutting blocks so I can talk trash to you because you know I couldn't go.
Right.
But
Right. That's
don't
good.
exclude me just because I participate. You know, treat me like you normally would. No, you can't bring me no fried chicken from you know you can't because I can't eat it. However,
some baked chicken.
You could go to the Smoothie King and give me a smoothie to help with my nausea.
Right.
You could get my meds for me.
Yeah.
You know, so there are things that can be done, and when I call and ask, don't be upset that I called and asked when you said if I need anything.
That part.
To call.
Yes.
Because then if you do that, then you make me feel like I can't ask you for nothing, and then I'll withdraw.
Yeah, that's so good. Thank you for sharing that, because in that time frame, I think, and I'll have Thomas kind of share with that too. I think a lot of times we do feel helpless, and what can I do? And you don't want to impose, and because sometimes church folks stay too long. And you know, they in the hospital, and so I would always tell the preachers, listen, you need to make that a 10-minute or less visit. Say a prayer, greet the folk, say a prayer. You say, no. Okay, he teach me something else. But I tell him, whatever we do, don't sit on the bed.
Don't even go to the hospital.
Okay.
Old school teaching is the reverend go to the hospital, see about the members sick and shut. That's good, but people want to know that you care.
Yes.
The best care you can give is to be consistent in your support in the way that you normally would do it. Right? And so what that looks like is, instead of you going to the hospital to pray, it could be you go by the hospital and you just touch the wall.
Oh, come on. Talk to us.
It could be depending on the care, because I was in isolation. I was in the hospital from August until April of the next year because my immune system had completely collapsed and it metastasized and all my organs were going out. Right. They told me when my daddy would come, you're only allowed 3 people that can come in and out this room for your 3. I had to list those 3, and they had to check in. They couldn't be sick. All that stuff. So instead of you coming and you don't feel good, and you come to see me because that's what's good. What's great would be if you loved me from afar consistently.
I love that.
Call me, check on me. Listen, if I'm on FMLA, you know I need some money because they're not paying for my bill. Medicine costs money.
Pay my electric bill.
Y'all laughing, but I've been in a situation where I worked for a school district, and I would receive checks on FMLA for $0.00 mailed to me in snail mail. It costs more for you to mail me the check than it was for me to get the check. So that statement, I'm saying it jokingly, but I have been in a situation where I wasn't paid, and I've sat in the dark.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have to choose between, do I keep my lights on?
Right.
Do I buy the lisinopril that I have to take?
Come on.
To keep the steroid, or if I got to buy the Phenagrin to keep the nauseous down.
Right.
Which one do I choose?
But that's so good, because those are the little things that we fail to realize. Because now, you're right. You don't get a check. Is long-term disability. You practically will be evicted before long-term disability kicks in.
And don't think you finna, especially in this governmental climate, think that you are about to get any form of Medicare, Medicaid, and like that ain't even what it is.
Yes.
Even down to the subsidies that they're doing. They're killing, they're lying about that they're helping the rural country. My home city hospital closed. Because there are no subsidies.
Wow.
So if my pastor wants to go to the hospital, he has to drive 30 miles one way or 27 another. But there are urgent cares all over, but there's no hospital. Right. But the lie we're telling is that we are providing medical care to immigrants. Even if that's true, they're human.
Yes.
And I think somewhere, I think they said we're a Christian nation now. I think that's what they say now.
So let Ray, what's going on, brother?
Listen, what Christian nation are we?
Well, that's a whole nother topic. If we're talking about how do we remain faith and wellness in uncertain times. You know, because you brought it up, and that's the direction we were going. In these times of uncertainty, I don't know about you, Thomas, but I don't know if the mental health crisis is increasing and what you're seeing out there in DC. And so, how do we keep our sanity in what appears and feels like an insane world? How do we? Thank you for that, Mac in the back. How do we stay mentally well when everything around us feels so divided?
I think the most important thing to do is to just acknowledge where we are, right?
Okay.
I think the most important thing that we are seeing as of last week was a decision that the powers that be made a decision that none of us can control, right? So I think one of the things that we have to do is to identify what are some of those things that we can control within ourselves and within our spaces, and understand the importance of developing a plan of action, right?
Yeah.
My heart, and I have to say this, my heart goes out to the federal employees.
Yes.
Everyone that has lost jobs. Most people are getting paid their last check on Friday, and they have no idea as to where they are going to go and what's going to be next. And so I think to answer that question is, how do we stay mentally well when everything around us seems divided, clouded, confounded, is to be able to acknowledge who you are within ourselves, to be able to identify and begin to pull out those things that we have once placed aside because everything was business as normal. So going back to those opportunities of self-care, going back to those opportunities of tapping back into your entrepreneurial skills, going back into those, being able to have to take a job at Walmart. One of the things that I would say that we got to do, Marty and Dr. Sean, is something that we got to do more of, and that's let our shoulders down and don't let that word called pride keep us from going to work at Walmart or getting a job at McDonald's, because every bit counts.
Now I'm hoping I can go sell me some lemonade or something before I got to go to Wally World. But if I have to, can I get the old fashioned lemonade stand and some popcorn? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'll make some gourmet popcorn, brother.
But you know what, though, the point that I'm trying to make is sometimes we have to do those things that we necessarily don't want to do, sir.
Hold your praise, Bishop. Hold your praise. Thank you, Jesus.
I can't.
I'm just saying.
I can't.
My birthday's coming up, so maybe I'll do this. And Bishop, happy belated.
Happy belated. Happy belated.
A friend of mine, I kept saying I got to call the Bishop because he had a birthday. Happy
52 and good, baby. 52 and good.
Come on, 52 and good.
Hey,
yes.
Hey, Dr. Sean, you got a message from me on Facebook that said happy birthday, right?
I did.
Thank you. That's what I need to say.
I hate to disconnect you from this call, but I will.
Touch your neighbor and say will. Moving on.
What about your friends? So
I
can't say. Miss Phoebe, how are you, darling? Missing you.
To really talk about that no one is really saying is all of what you said, Thomas, but there's another step to that I think we need to address a little bit further. The political divide is now causing such a socioeconomic, emotional, spiritual divide that we're unable to put grasp on anything that is solid, firm, or clear, because the intention is to dilute the truth with fear.
Yes.
And you don't need any more help being in any more trenches with somebody else's leadership. But I'm a firm believer, you are always complicit in your success, and you are also complicit in your failures. And what you drag people through is what you're struggling with.
Talk to us some more.
Say that one more time.
What you drag people through is what you personally struggle with in private.
And we call that transference.
Oh, is that what that's called? Oh my God, talk to me.
Come on, psychological term, transference.
Because a lot of times we don't unpack, we just move on.
Oh, that's good. And in times of crises, you're absolutely right. We have to face those things, those I'm not even calling them demons, because I'm not gonna get, but
The
those,
facts, whatever it is, they're your facts or they're your
yes,
feelings and fears. There's only one of the
yes,
three left.
yes, facts, feelings, and now we have to deal with it. I'm going back, I'm about to start me a garden anyway, because I like my homegrown. Listen, I had me some tomatoes. My mother would say tomato. Had me some tomato plant in the backyard. Baby, them tomatoes were so good. We got to go back to our calling, our roots, our what founded what we used to do, and going back to supporting each other. I'm not looking for anyone to support and produce Marty, because now, is there psychological things that, yes, I get tired sometimes, yes, I get weary sometimes, but when I can call you Bishop, I can call Thomas, I can call Dr. Story, I can call my village that comes and supports me and say, Marty, we got your back here. How do we get back to those times when because the church used to be, let me say it this way, used to be a spiritual and psychological, and in a lot of terms, economical safe place for us in the past.
It still is. Let's no, don't walk down that street. Now it still is.
Okay.
The problem, it still is. The problem isn't, and I'm gonna be fair. We don't need to go back to our roots, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Talk to me, because I want to hear your perspective on this.
It's the roots that raped you. It's the roots that broke you. It's the roots that caused you not to go back to church. It's the roots that caused you to stop giving. It's the roots that taught you who you are now, and you figured out that those roots worked then. The only thing they do now is hold you up. What you've got to get to is the new. You have got it. What is the purpose of having this big old CPU and not use it? What is the purpose? Because one of the things that we're not talking about, that's just tragic in its own status, is that the church has not lost its luster. The people have forgotten its purpose. And until we get back to the purpose of the church and the people of the church, and stop dealing with the proclivities of the people, then you will miss it. God has not called us to negotiate our faith with folk who don't believe. The standard of the church is still the same. It's holiness. And either you there or you're not. Now, you shouldn't have bothered me, because at my core,
I just scratched that dandruff of holiness up, honey. Listen, baby.
And when I say holiness, I'm not in the denomination as much as I am in your personal actions.
And I'm right there with you. I know what you mean. So thank you for clarifying.
I could care less what your faith is. But I do not understand how we can say we are a Christian nation when the Bible says when they're hungry, feed them, and you're clawing back SNAP benefits. When they need healing, they can go to the hospital, and you're taking away Medicaid and Medicare. I've got members of my church who are stressed the hell out because these subsidies are going away for Obamacare. So the Republicans couldn't kill it their way. So if you unfund it, it doesn't exist. Well, that's fine. But what they're not talking about, sir, you are killing, because that's what's getting ready to happen. You are murdering your own constituents. But now we must hold them accountable. We cannot be upset that we voted for Trump when Madam Vice President was a prophet and told you Project 2025 was there. And that demon stood right up there in front of you with orange paint on his face and a wig on his head and told you he wasn't associated with it. He didn't want to read it. He didn't have anything to do with it. Now all of a sudden we on Truth Social talking about I'm with so-and-so and we're discussing with the gravity of Project 2025. That's witchcraft. And because we didn't vote and support a Black woman who had the education, status, and leadership, now all of a sudden we want to talk about we in bad shape. No, we're not in bad shape. We earned everything we got coming.
And, baby, our previous vice president said they was crazy. And I'm just saying it lightly how she said it.
Oh, no, she said them some crazy mother fathers. That's what she said. That's what she said. And she said MUF. Fathers. That's what she said. That's what she said. Now, if you're gonna testify, Reverend, I'm from the old church. You testify to the holiness of God. You got to quote it like it is.
So, in the midst of this battle, because we are in a fight of what it feels like a fight of our lives, a fight for faith, fight for finances, fight for our mental wellness, just in this fight. So, Thomas, how do we, even from a psychosocial perspective, I think you said this, and how do we quiet the storm? Because I was sharing with my leadership just this past week about in the midst of a hurricane. That's what y'all deal with down in Houston. I don't deal with that. God bless your heart.
Clear your explanation, Reverend. Talk clear.
Yes, and but the calmness is in the eye. So how do we direct people to the eye of what might be appears to be the storms of their life, so that they can find the still small voice? Come on, now I'm preaching of God in the mountain. So that go ahead, Thomas.
I want to go to a comment that Miss Tanya stated in the chat. She said the people have forgotten their purpose. And I want to say this, to answer your question, is we have to go back and reevaluate, reassess who we are as an individual, not by the titles, not by the accolades, not by the successes, but what brought us to where we are today. And I think Miss Tanya said it perfectly. We sometimes get so big out here that we forget how we got there. What were some of those steps? What were some of those hurdles? What were some of those obstacles that we had to endure and move around to understand, just like we got here, we could easily go back there. But I think Dr. Sean also said something that is also key that I want to tap into as well. We got to also understand what is the mental freedom. We got to free ourselves from our thoughts. Like you talk about this CPU, this mind is always going. This mind is always stating. This mind is always working overtime. We got to find those outlets to run it out. Because if we don't run it out, it's going to stay here. And when it stays here, from a cognitive level, it's going to start showing up in how we feel, how we respond, and how we react. So when I think about where we're going, yes, sir.
You have to go back to something. Repeat that sentence again.
Which part?
The whole sentence.
The whole sentence is which part? That we got to go back, or the mental CPU. We got to go back to our minds and think about ways we need to let those things out, because it's going
right there.
Yes,
that's sir. How do you do that?
If I can borrow the words of Dr. Rita Walker, y'all know I just love me some Dr. Rita Walker. Babe,
I told you she was the business. I told you
Bishop, did I tell her I had her out here in California? Oh yeah, I brought her out here. I brought Dr. Rita Walker. That's my homegirl now. She just moved to Detroit.
Business.
And she talks about this term called the PF, the psychological fortitude. And in that, it causes for us to recognize what we can handle in those moments. And a lot of us have been so overwhelmed that we don't feel that we have the right or the stamina. But sometimes you got to say, you know what? I just don't have the psychological fortitude. I don't have the strength to deal with this right now. And I'm going to withdraw myself from this madness and do what I need to do. So when I come back in the fight, I'm someone call up Bishop. I'm stronger. I'm wiser. I'm better. You know who I'm talking about, Marvin Sapp. Get Marvin on the show. I'm stronger. I'm wiser. I'm better. But we got to also know what we can handle in the midst of this craziness. Give ourselves the permission to regroup, recharge, and rejuvenate ourselves so that we can go back in there as a different person, and knowing what we have the capacity of handling, and starting from locally. Thank you. Yes. Starting at the local, what you can change locally. What can you change in your house? What can you change in your neighborhood? What can you change in your community? Let's start there and hold these other jokers accountable and say, listen, baby, I put you in and I'll bring you out if you're not going to listen to the people. Go ahead, Thomas, because I
want to go back to what Dr. Sean asked me. One of the favorite quotes that I use with my clients now is the path of darkness often begin the path to enlightenment often begins with the darkness. The path to enlightenment often begins in darkness. We got to define that word darkness. Darkness is that insecurity. Darkness is that uncertainty. Darkness is that way that you feel that you can't get yourself out of it. That darkness is this thing right here, that CPU. Because if you look around, if you are around a lot of negativity, what happens to us?
You become negative.
You become very negative.
Association brings about assimilation.
That's the part right there that we don't understand is sometimes we got to detach ourselves to get that freedom, to understand your purpose, and to get to your why. So you can get to that end point, which is your destiny and your
Come on, Simon Sinek. So let's talk about this. I do read every now and again. Let's talk about this on burnout, because what you're talking about is how do we recognize what? And I'm going to say it this way: how do we recognize when we are emotionally, psychologically, physically, and Bishop, I'm saying this not in a derogatory way either, but also spiritually burned out. And how do we restore ourselves? I want Bishop. I'm going to go to you first.
No, that ain't. Thomas,
yes, it is.
First. No,
okay, Thomas.
Now you ain't finna load me in that and then send me up the creek with no power.
Yeah, I sure enough, sure he is. Go ahead.
How can we recognize when we are experiencing spiritual or emotional burnout? I think the important question to ask ourselves, do we sometimes know when burnout is really present?
We don't.
And what is burnout?
Right, because what's burnout to me may not be burnout to you.
Exactly.
And I think we try to do a one size fit all to say that, I spiritually tapped out, but what you tapped out from? And so I think that's a trick question. But I can say when we recognize that we are experiencing burnout, it starts with our body. When we're tired, when we are agitated, when we find ourselves sleeping in, that alarm clock goes off for you to wake up and go to a meeting. You're like, I don't want to go. How we show up. And let's talk about some of those that have family members, especially now in this climate, not knowing how you're going to prepare for your family, provide for your family. Before you even get there, how are you going to prepare and provide for yourself? So when you think about it spiritually and being emotionally burnt out, you got to be able to identify what those spiritual things are that has burnt you out. What are some of those emotional things that have burnt you out? Because
I'm going to tell you what burns me out.
Lord.
No, seriously.
Yes.
What is it, Marty? What is it?
What burns you out is shifty folks. But seriously, we got bills that often burn us out. Sometimes some of us are on jobs that is burning us out because we're in this rat race. And I hate to say it, but oftentimes we don't know how to pull ourselves off that hamster wheel because we robbing Peter to pay Paul, and doing so many other things and allowing so many other outside influences to control us because we don't know. I'm going to go back to you, but don't know our purpose and the whys of our life. And so we're trying to satisfy so many other people and not recognizing who we are.
Before Bishop chime in, we got to also say this, Marty. I love everybody to death, but we sometimes cause our own selves to become burnt out, and it has nothing to do with nobody else around us.
Well, that's because that's the expectation, especially of single Black women and Black. We just making it. How you doing? I'm just making it. Well, I'm tired of just making it.
I'm gonna be quiet.
So am I.
I do believe that you all are right. I want to push us just to the right.
Can you push us?
Push us, brother.
Education addresses a lot of this.
Yes. Overcommitment. Okay.
One of the things that we do that we don't do well is that we struggle in owning our own stuff. And it's okay to call out Marty on his stuff, but I don't recognize my stuff.
Mm.
Secondly, for those of you that are in spiritual leadership like me, we do get exhausted. And I'm going to name it, from praying and fasting and calling and counseling, listening to people go off, letting people give somebody the right side of their mind when they ain't never had their right mind in the first place. You dealing with all of that. Then you have the spiritual acumen that you must deal with. In addition to, and I will say this, there is no anointing without accountability.
I love this.
And our burnout is, and I'm with Thomas, we have to own it. We tired. And if you say, one of the things my doctor told me when I was fighting cancer, she said, I'm gonna let you know. Her name was Dr. Musa Swami. She said, I'm gonna let you know you're not gonna be right. I said, what you mean? She said, when you say you're tired, that means you're exhausted. You say you thirsty, that means you are dehydrated.
Right.
If you say you hungry out loud, that means you're starving. I say, well, why are you telling me that? She says, because the language that you know is not the language that you need in this new life. The language that you have about your depression, about your anxiety, about your suicide ideation, the language that you have about your marriage is nothing more than the wrong language.
So how do we then, you're talking about, how do we, I'm going to go to this, boundaries are good. Yes.
Marty, you got to get her. Her name is Dr. Sandy Bailey Gwynn. She has a 501c3 called Foundations for Living. You need to get her on here. She is the business.
Well, you connect us with the business, and
I would do exactly that.
Dr. Bailey, I would love to have you and welcome you, because I want to say this also. We know that one of the groups that is overwhelmed right now, can we say this, are educated Black women. They are taking the brunt of all of this, and I want to salute these wonderful, amazing Black women who are still holding up, putting, doing what they have to, and they're the ones experiencing the brunt of this. But I want to go back to a point you said there, Bishop, when you said about confronting and having this. Y'all know I don't like confrontations. I am the king of avoidance, and I know that I already know that about myself. Yes, sir.
I know I'm your opposite.
I know you are.
Yeah, I have no problem with confrontation. I think that it is healthy.
Conflict is good.
Healthy conflict is, but many of us don't know the difference between healthy conflict, and we lean too much on unhealthy conflict because we allow all the baggage from our disappointments, all the baggage from our hurt. And so we're going to do what you said earlier, Thomas. I'm going to now transfer all the venom of my past on you, Bishop, because you came at the wrong ninja today, and I'm about to let you have it. So how do we have a way of confronting anger, disappointment, fatigue, all these things, so that we can be healthier?
Go ahead, Thomas. Go ahead.
I think the first thing when you think about confrontation, you got to look at two words. And those two words are power and control.
Okay, it is.
Am I trying to have the power to take control of it in a positive way? Or am I trying to be that type A person that is not willing to hear other sides of the story? When you think about confrontation and how do we maintain the anger, we got to all of this, to just sum it up, starts with ourselves, right? Because I think Dr. Sean said it best earlier. We are dealing with our own internal conflicts, and within ourselves, our internal conflicts transference over to other aspects of our lives. So while we're trying to confront everybody else, we don't want to confront the fact that I'm an overthinker. I'm confronting the fact that you didn't respond to me. And at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with the other person. It really starts within ourselves. So when you think about confrontation, I agree we have to have conflicts, because you can't be a yes, ma'am,
healthy
or
conflict.
Yes, sir. Healthy let me quote it correctly, because I'm a licensed professional. Healthy conflict is good.
I know. he making sure we all healthy conflict is
because
okay.
this is being recorded, and people like to make memes and videos and tweets and stuff. You won't catch me slipping at 10:45 p.m. on the East Coast.
Come on.
Healthy conflicts is good because you have to have something that Quentin said earlier is boundaries and understanding that you can't stay stagnated with what you was doing back in the day. So you have to be bold enough to say, I'm not okay with this. And this is why.
Dr. Bailey said accountability of self.
Accountability.
Deal with that.
Yes. It starts with ourselves.
I want to raise a point on one thing, just to sharpen the edge of the sword, if you might.
This two-edged sword is killing me.
Question in Romans 12. I want to say it's either 17 or 18. And he said, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. I have 2 points. One, even Christians have struggles.
Yes.
You will have moments where forgiveness is not something you can just give immediately. But please understand that when you look at this, the peace that they were really talking about, if you read this as the peace for everyone, did you know that you have to give yourself the same level of grace that you would give someone else? That you deserve the same level of forgiveness that you would give someone else, that you
we haven't been taught
the same level of grace that you give someone else, that just because, and saying that I'm sorry does not mean you're weak. I'm going to say this, and saying I'm sorry to myself doesn't mean that I don't deserve it.
But when we have not been taught to forgive yourself, and especially as men, you ain't no good. You just sorry. You just like your sorry daddy.
I might be, but you produced us both because it's generational.
That was what I was about to say.
Make that make sense.
No, I hear you. Can we deal with it? Because anger is a valid and needed response. Without anger, there's a lot of things we would not get. Anger can also drive positive behavior. But what about when anger becomes rage?
Explain that.
What I'm saying, what I'm going is because we can have so much righteous anger till all of that anger becomes rage. Liberation needs to talk. Yes. So in this, because I think that especially as Black men, and I'm praying for our Black women who are being affected by this, that their disappointment and anger does not turn into rage, because rage is that when you lose control. It's almost like that whole don't y'all judge me, Coca-Cola syndrome. I think anger boils here, and we need to have it settle. But rage is when it's not only shaken, but there's a crack in the foundation. What was started off as imploding then explodes all over us.
Okay.
So how do we take it so that we don't become rageful? Because then, see, I told you, you ain't nothing but a sorry, angry Black man. Out of control. All these other. So how do we take all of that? Because I think we have a right to be angry. We have not. I know we do. We have a right to feel mad, a right to feel disappointed, hurt, all those things. But how do we make sure it doesn't turn into rage? Because if this, truth be told, privatization of prisons have gone back into effect. That's what they're not telling everybody, and they're gonna throw all of us in there. Oh, thank you, Daryl. Daryl's coaching me from the back, telling me quit leaning into my mic. A good Baptist preacher always leans in when we're trying to make a point.
Oh my!
Go ahead. I'm going to start with the mental health expert, the licensed person in DC.
I want to walk through that definition of anger, right?
Yes.
Because I think for clarification, we have to make sure that we're channeling the anger in the right way. because anger can lead to unhealthy responses, right?
There we go.
What I will say is we can channel fear, and we can channel anxieties and being nervous to channel it in a way that can come to rescue us out of a situation, because we become that fight or flight response. But when we think about anger, we have to be able to define what anger is. I am angry because blah, 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 blah. I feel upset because X, Y, and Z. I feel that I am unheard because of X, Y, and Z. And so I think when we say that we want to talk about anger, we got to be able to add a little bit more meat to that. Okay. Because we can't become labeled as the angry Black person or the angry person of color. I'm disappointed in what you have done because of X, Y, and Z. So what I'm doing to just land the plane is I'm taking that word anger and I'm using some replacement words, because we want to make sure that we're not saying it's okay to be angry, because some people may take that and want to just be angry and mad at the world.
But I think it is okay to be angry.
I will push back on that.
But now, I'm gonna push me in the Bible. The Bible says, "Angry, but sin not." Now you can be angry, and we need to be able to express why we're angry, and we can even have a little passion behind the anger. Now, I'm not saying being angry and terror. We're not gonna do a Watts riot or anything like that,
right?
But we can be angry. Some of us is tired of being walked on. Not some of us, we all are, and tired of being. Don't take my kindness as weakness either.
Because then you're using me,
right?
And abusing me at the same time,
right? We're saying the same thing, but I think we're just saying it differently.
We are.
James Baldwin said that we can agree to disagree and still love each other.
Right.
The problem is that disagreement can only end if two can agree. And the Bible raised the question, how can two walk together
unless
my country voice, lest they agree?
Lest they agree.
Not unless, but lest they agree. And the reason I'm using less instead of unless is because less of you in the way helps the agreement get in place.
Bishop, I can't stand you some days.
It'll be okay. And when we look at this, we forget that humility and humanity are ours when we choose to be petty. Then we choose to hurt the other person. But in that same transition, you're also telling me you're hurting yourself.
Of course.
And then the anger that you're talking about, I'm going to say this. Nobody wants to give him no credit, but the Reverend Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant is on it.
You know what? I ain't mad at him right now. He's on my top 10 of favorites right now.
Man, listen, and he's leading something from the church.
Yes.
He's leading civil change from the church. What we're missing in all of this conversation is that no matter where you go, there is, and I'm told all the time, Thomas, I'm old school and all that, but there's nowhere you can go on earth that God can't meet you.
Come on.
Where you can't bring your anger and your rage, and he can't, and God can't handle it.
Right.
God is so cold with it, y'all. He ice cold. He cold with it that he can handle anything you got to say if you bold enough to speak it out your mouth.
Well, as long as the book that I love that said "In His Face."
You understand? That's the same book. Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know what? You read a little bit. I love that book. Changed my life. In His Face. Listen, he already knows what you're thinking anyway, so do it in his face.
And because and what we've learned, we run from confrontation because we think that if we don't say nothing and we're silent, it'll go away.
Right.
That's avoidance.
That part.
But it's also the language of those who've been abused.
That part.
So you've been conditioned. This is also Domestic Violence Month. Those who have been victims or been in abusive you learn how to appease and keep quiet. I learned something, and we're gonna end here because we were about running out of time. I want Mac in the back to be mad at me. One of the for sex trafficking and human trafficking symbols that they use is Hello Kitty. Do you know why? She doesn't have a mouth. So they want to snatch the voice out of her. Think about that. When you look at next time you look at Hello Kitty, go see Hello Kitty, who she doesn't have a mouth at all. So she doesn't have a voice.
Wow.
And in that, I know, blew my mind. In that, and we want to try and silence us and silence them too much. And you know my theme. I always say, speak up, speak out, and live.
Yeah.
Because you have a voice and your voice matters. Right. I'm too excited, and we could go on for hours, but let's do this. Just as closing, y'all, I'm going to be back next week. We got another wonderful show. I wish I could have these two back, but we rolling on, and they'll be back soon. And everything. We got to get Margarita in here because we know she's going to cut up, but we still praying for Dr. Story.
Yes.
Closing words that you would tell people in remaining sane in these times of uncertainty. I'm going to start with you, Thomas, and then I'm going to go to Bishop.
As I close out real quick, Marty, thank you for the invitation to be on tonight. I know I gave you a little bit of banter about asking me today, but I feel like
you have to throw me under the bus like that, huh?
There's a reason, because you did me on my show last month. But I believe things are intentional.
Yes.
And there was a reason why you asked me and Dr. Sean to be on. Dr. Sean, I love you to death. I can't wait to see you soon. One of the things that I want to say real quick, I went to church on Sunday, and the name of and the theme of the sermon that the pastor said, when there is a no, understand that there is a yes in the no. Sometimes when things happen and someone says no, it's because it's protecting us from something that we don't need to be a part of. So as we are talking about being sane, there is a no that we are in a shutdown, but you got to find that yes in it. Take this opportunity to reevaluate yourself, re-image who you are. And it's something that I want to say, and I'm going to shut up because we're going to be on to midnight. Write your vision, rewrite your vision, your goals, your aspirations, and make it plain. Stop suffering in silence and communicate your needs to someone so someone can help you. Not everybody out here in the world is out to get us. So as I close tonight, remain who you are, go get it, and understand that your possibilities are limitless. Thank you so much, Marty.
He might know a little Bible. Write the vision and make it plain. Bishop?
He closed twice.
I know.
Okay.
He hasn't been to seminary yet.
He closed twice, Reverend. Only thing he didn't do was squall, but he closed twice.
Right. I know.
But Howard Thurman said, community cannot feed on itself. It only can flourish with the coming of others from beyond the point. We can't do life by ourselves.
Yes.
We have to have people who have positions with power that have purpose.
Yes.
That is not allergic to meeting us where we are.
Yes.
But we have to be honest about where we are.
That part.
The last thing I would leave you with, and I'm not closing, I'm just going to give you this. Do not fight your future for holding on to your past.
Ooh. Okay. That's why I'll have the t-shirts available next week.
That's fine.
That's fine. Yes. Listen.
The light man said it's time.
It's time. It's time.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I cannot thank both of you enough. And as I always say, I know, Ronnie, it's so good to see you. I missed you. Ouch is the word preach. I know. I got to get him out here to Cali so he can go on and start revival, because y'all up here just doing it. I know. I'll give you a chicken dinner.
Listen, because it's you, I'll even fry the chicken.
Oh, well, look at God. Hallelujah. Yeah. You know, I was feeling a little country. I thought about you. I put some chicken on the grill, and
Mm-hmm.
I smothered me some cabbage and did some fried corn and some macaroni and cheese. I just needed some yams, and I would have slapped somebody, but not to get just snatched. Anyway, I cannot thank you enough for being here with us tonight on the Mental Health Marty show and the return of the show. I'm so excited, Joe. I don't know what to do. But as we close, I just want to, I'm so excited also about the relaunch of Chris is Sad. We're going to have these ready for you for Christmas as your Christmas stocking stuffers. And I'm going to be doing some book signing parties. This is my sample, y'all. I'm so excited about the relaunch of this book. Is wonderful as we deal with divorce in the Black community and with our children, because they suffer in silence as well. And we also have this amazing coloring book that's going to go along with it. So I'm so excited. Look for this coming out right after Thanksgiving, y'all, because we want to help our children. And my second children's book is coming out soon, spring, called Raven the Great. But as always, we don't want you to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame, but we want you to speak up, speak out, and live, but not only live your best life while you enjoy your life. We'll see you next week as well. God bless. Enjoy your life, be free.